Everyone thinks the Anker Soundcore Q35 is the budget ANC no-brainer, but here's the thing, it isn't, unless you set it up right. The surprising truth is that the Q35 can punch way above its price because of one feature most people misuse. LDAC combined with smart EQ and the right ANC mode. I spent 3 weeks commuting, flying, and working from home with these, logging over 30 hours of testing. And what I found, the default sound is not the hero. The setup is, that's the snapback. Also, there are a couple of hidden gotchas that could make or break your experience, especially if you switch between phone and laptop. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you're already convinced and want the current best price, I'll drop a link below. But hang tight, because the way to unlock these and the few traps to avoid might save you money and frustration. Here's why I even picked these up. I needed one pair to do it all: survive the New York subway, block my AC hum during deep work, handle Zoom calls without me sounding like I'm in a wind tunnel, and be comfy for a cross-country flight. I've been burned before. The Life Q30 gave me big battery and decent ANC, but the bass bloom got fatiguing and callers often complained I sounded muffled. Sony and Bose, fantastic, but I didn't want to drop $300 plus for a backup pair. So I came to the Q35 skeptical but hopeful. LDAC for better wireless audio on my Android phone, multipoint for laptop and phone at once, and advertised 40 hours with ANC. If this could replace my aging travel cans without the premium tax, I'd call it a win. But I kept my expectations realistic, especially around microphones and high-frequency noise. First test, noise canceling, real world. On the subway and on a 737, transport mode knocked out the low-end rumble impressively for this price. I'd estimate a 70–80% reduction of that bassy drone, but mid-range chatter and clinks, those still poke through. Switching to indoor mode at my desk surprised me. It handled constant HVAC hum better than transport, with less ear pressure. Outdoor mode reduced wind buffeting a bit but wasn't a miracle. A stiff breeze still tickled the mics. Transparency is usable and there's a voice focus option, but it still sounds a tad processed. Visual hook, show the ANC modes A/B with a decibel meter near a fan, then sound quality. Out of the box, it's a V-shaped signature, boosted sub-bass around 6100 Hz and some sparkle up top around 810k Hz. Fun, but a little boomy and occasionally sizzly on cymbals. Here's where it gets interesting. Switch your Android phone to LDAC 990 kbps in developer settings and pop into the Soundcore app's 8-band IQ, my go-to curve. dB at 64 Hz, dB at 125 Hz, plus 1 dB at 1k Hz for presence, minus 2 dB at 8k Hz to tame sibilance. Result? Tighter kick drums, clearer vocals, and less fatigue. With LDAC on lossless or high bitrate streams, microdetail opens up, hi-hats sound more natural, bass lines separate. On iPhone you're limited to AAC. Still decent, but the jump to LDAC is audible on well-recorded tracks. Visual, show EQ curve and quick A/B clips, comfort and build next. At about 260G with plush memory foam pads, I wore these 4–5 hours straight without hotspots. Heat builds after 90 minutes in warm rooms, but clamp force is friendly. The case is solid, hinges are plastic but feel fine, though there's a faint creak if you twist the cups. Buttons are physical and reliable. NFC tap-to-pair on Android is a nice touch. Visual, on-head shots, pad thickness macro, battery and connectivity, advertised 40 hours with ANC on, 60 hours off. In my tests, mixed usage with ANC and LDAC drained about 7–8% per hour, which lines up with roughly 12–14 hours on a single full LDAC plus ANC stretch, and much longer on AAC or SBC. Fast charge gave me around 4 hours from a 5-minute top-up clutch before a commute. Multipoint worked well with AAC, laptop and phone connected, seamless switching. But then the catch, LDAC disables multipoint. You choose fidelity or convenience, and calls. In a quiet room, callers rated me 7/10. On a breezy street, wind reduction struggled, more like 5/10. Not a deal breaker for occasional calls, but not AirPods level voice pickup. Latency is fine for YouTube and Netflix. For competitive gaming, wired mode via 3.5 still wins. Visual. Call test waveform Bluetooth settings showing LDAC and device list. The most surprising discovery, the Q35's headline isn't ANC, it's tunability. Spend 10 minutes with LDAC and EQ and they graduate from fun but flawed to legitimately engaging. That was the turning point in my testing. I logged hours A/B-ing these against the Sony WH-CH720N and older WH-1000 XM3. The Q35's ANC trails XM3 XM4 on airplane rumble and high-frequency hiss, no contest. But versus WH-CH720N, the Q35 fights back hard. Better case and accessories, LDAC on Android, wear detection, and a deeper EQ. Against Bose QC45, Bose wins ANC and comfort, but you're paying a lot more and losing LDAC. I also learned transport mode isn't always king. At a coffee shop with a steady espresso machine hum, indoor was noticeably smoother and induced less ear fatigue. And while LDAC improves detail, it halves your effective battery life and range. Step 2 rooms away and you'll hear it cut out sooner than AAC. Too good to be true? No, just a classic trade-off. If you value multi-point and maximum endurance, stick to AAC. If you're chasing fidelity for focused listening, flip on LDAC, tweak the EQ, and enjoy. I put in the hours so you don't have to. Now that you know the key, these shine when set up right. Here's your next step. If this fits your use case, grab it while it's under the typical $129 mark. Anker often runs coupons that vanish fast. Links in the description for the best current price in any bundles. Bottom line, the Soundcore Q35 is a value beast when you lean into its strengths. Buy it if you want affordable ANC that's good enough for commuting, long battery life, and on Android, a real upgrade with LDAC plus app EQ. Skip it if you demand top-tier ANC for constant flying, rock-solid calls in wind, or you live in Apple's ecosystem and prioritize mic quality over music. For most people under $150, it's the smart play. Dial it in and it competes 2 weight classes up. Set it and forget it, that's where people get it wrong.